Smoke meat.
No chemicals or preservatives, just 100% honest to goodness hickory smoked meat.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Boy, some chicken wings have really hit the spot.
You ain't got no better food like some chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something?
That's just two guys talking, am I right? We're just talking.
Hey, howdy, hey! Welcome to another episode of the number one barbecue podcast in the Western United States. Undisputed heavyweight champion. I am Mike, here with John.
Hi.
Who remembered to hit start record this time.
I just want you guys to know you just missed maybe the best 20-minute conversation about a cook I did this week.
We just sat and talked to each other for 20 minutes.
The whole thing about the teeny boppers.
Oh, no!
Oh, guys.
Oh, that was classic. All right.
We have let you down.
Listen, we're going to try to
I don't even want to try
talk
to
about the things, but it's definitely not going to be as authentic as it was the first time. Me and John just spent 20 minutes in his basement talking to each other into microphones. And it's kind of like when you hand your kid an iPad and you tell them they have their own YouTube channel and they just start recording videos of themselves that no one will ever see. So you guys really missed out.
It was really good, too. Like,
we were into it. It was good.
We were so into it, and I came back and saw the lack of a timer at the bottom of the screen. But, you know, we are... Let's see. Where are we at here, Mike? This is episode 84, I think?
84.
And this is the first time I forgot to hit the record button.
That's true. I will not hold it against you.
Good grief. So, to recap, adolescents are hilarious. Mike and I had a great experience going to the Maverik tonight. 20 or 30 kids. Like, I don't know, 14?
Probably. I was going to say 13 to 15, I bet.
Yeah, 13 to 15.
Freshman age.
That there were 20 or 30 kids there, literally all of them playing a support role for two different couples to have conversations with each other.
Yeah. It was interesting to see them in their natural habitat.
Yeah.
I wish I could do a good Crocodile Dundee, or no, Steve Irwin impression. That would have been really good. But, yeah, we watched. I mean, it was hilarious. Like, we already... It feels weird because we already talked about it, so everything I'm saying seems fake. But there was one couple, and it was clear that the female of the group was interested in one male, and there were about 7 males flipping around on their scooters trying to get the attention of said female.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, there was clearly a maturity level difference between the object of her attention and the rest of his peers.
Yes, the vyers for her attention.
Because he was actually holding his own, it looked like. It looked like he was having a pretty good conversation.
I'm sure he's doing great.
While all of his boys were riding their Razor scooters, grinding on the edge of the curb, jumping and spinning their
flipping them around, doing wheelies on their mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out, this was all observed as we got out of Maverik into the car and left in about 15 seconds. We did not sit and study these kids. You don't need to call anybody. No binoculars were involved. It was a really quick but we noticed a lot. So
yeah, I would have loved to sit there and watch that all play out.
Yeah.
Like, that was better than any movie I've seen.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, if you like people watching, dude, these 14, 15-year-olds are the most interesting case study that you could ever watch because just walking down the halls, it's fascinating. They all hold in packs. You can see the insecurity in each one of their faces, and it's a good time.
Yeah, and it really was like the girl would say something and the boy would hear it, and he'd kind of over his shoulder talk to another guy. Okay, this, and then he'd respond.
Yeah.
And then the girl would hear it, and she'd turn around and chat with her little friends.
It was very interesting. There's quite the support group going on.
Yeah.
John, what have you been cooking?
I don't know, Mike. Guys.
Listen, we try to keep it real with y'all and authentic, and this seems...
I don't know how much more
weird.
authentic you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike and I, we had this conversation when we thought we were recording before.
Right.
Like, the last couple of weeks have just been pure chaos.
It's been crazy.
And we used to have a really consistent schedule that every Tuesday night we'd get together, we'd record.
Mm-hmm.
And
At
now,
about the same time, and now
Yeah.
we're all over the place.
yeah, now it's like any day of the week that works.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been consistently pushing later and later and later into the night.
And then we don't hit record, so it's even later into the
Yep. Yep.
Oh, shoot.
Flippin' A, man.
I was thinking, though, today, and this is not something that I talked about. It really doesn't have anything to do with anything. But I feel like we're getting into fall time as kind of fat guy weather, and it's nice to be outside
Freaking
again
awesome.
without sweating.
Yeah.
I feel like, this may be an unpopular opinion, I think my favorite time to barbecue is spring and fall, when it's not so blasted hot that you can enjoy it out there. So,
no, 100%.
I know like Memorial Day to Labor Day is like the official barbecue season. I mean, I think I like right before and right after.
Yeah, like
And obviously we cook all winter too, but that's not necessarily enjoyable. It's just,
no, but like
yeah.
Yeah, like mid to late fall before it starts to snow. You can wear a hoodie. Yeah,
I love
football's playing. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
That is the best.
Yeah, no, and I felt that on Monday. Where are we in the week? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yesterday I felt that I did a big cook for our city employee appreciation day, or it was their summer barbecue, summer something.
Right on. Summer extravaganza.
Yeah. But anyways, from our fat guys at Heritage Days,
Yeah.
they reached out and said, "Hey, will you do this?" I'm like, okay.
Sweet.
Like normally I don't cater, but I was like, why not?
Yeah.
We can do this.
That's your peeps.
But it reaffirmed to me a couple of things. One, there's a reason that this is a hobby and not my full-time job, which I considered over the summer, like as I've been working on different projects and trying to get things up and going on a new business. Like the idea of just cooking barbecue sounded like fun.
Pretty appealing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. Like, it's a crap ton of work. And I don't think I have been as sweaty and nasty as I was in the kitchen yesterday.
And it's just full time. Like,
Yeah.
you don't, it's go, go, go.
Yeah, so I started the pork shoulders. I did pork, mac and cheese, baked beans, and coleslaw. I started the pork shoulders I started getting them ready at about 9:30, and I put them on. They were on by 10 o'clock. But then I was up a couple of times in the middle of the night just because I never sleep when my smokers are running.
Yeah. It's hard to relax.
I don't.
I've been burned before.
Yeah, I don't trust the technology. And one of them is my older smoker that isn't Wi-Fi enabled, so I literally have no idea what's going on with it if I'm not looking at it.
Rained a little that night too, right?
It did.
Power could have flickered. All kinds of bad things could have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was up at 8 a.m. and I maybe had like 2 hours of downtime in the middle, but I was in the kitchen at 8 and I pulled into the event at 5:45 for a 6 o'clock like open serve.
Jeez.
It's a ton of work, man. In my kitchen, it was
Yeah.
85 degrees in there, man. We were cooking a lot. So, yeah. But Had lots of fun. We everybody loved the pork. Everybody really liked the baked beans. One guy, I kid you not, had like half a pan of mac and cheese.
That is awesome.
He had a little bit, and then he came back and he was like, "This is so good." I was like, "I told you it was good." So that was fun to watch. And
tell us about your beans. Again, this feels awkward because we've already had this conversation, but tell us about your beans.
Yeah.
How did you make them? How did you do them? How many did you make?
yeah, baked beans are one of these things that people just like go wild for, and I think they are the easiest thing in the world to cook. I made a huge batch of them. I really ended up with I probably cooked twice as much as what I needed for the group. It was supposed to be 160 people. But I've never cooked baked beans for that big of a group before.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure exactly what the serving size would end up being. But I did 4 number 10 cans of Bush's beans.
Dang.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that came in the number 10 can.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Where do you get those bad boys? You gotta go to Sam's Club or
Yeah,
Costco?
it was at Sam's Club. So the number 10 can, like big, like coffee can size. Think about it that way.
Yeah.
But I started out, had green peppers and onions that I sauteed in the bottom of the big pan, added some garlic. Always add that later just so it doesn't burn.
So it doesn't burn, yeah.
Yep. But once that got aromatic, added the beans, added a bunch of brown sugar. I think that's what everybody really likes.
Was the brown sugar that kind of ties it all together.
And then for this big of a batch, I put a whole bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's in it.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And you said 4 number 10 cans,
4
right?
number 10 cans. So
how big was your pot that you were using?
Oh, it's huge.
That's the real deal. Like one of those canning pot type things?
It's a big stock pot that I bought at Costco or at Sam's Club years ago. But it's probably, I don't know, 18 inches deep and 12 across, 16 across.
Jeez.
Like
I'd need a stool to stir that bad boy.
Yeah, it's huge. We stir it with this big like barbecue spatula that I've had forever. But yeah, cooked those, and people ranted and raved about the beans. And I mean, we got stopped tonight by a buddy who was at the dinner. He's like, "Man, I've been thinking about that food all day."
Yeah.
But
how long do you? So you just cooked them on the stovetop, right? Or did you put them in the smoker?
So it depends on how I'm doing it. For the speed that I was doing it and the volume I was doing it, I put them all in this big stock pot, brought them to temperature, and then I put them out on the smoker, and they were probably out there.
In the stock pot, or did you transfer them
I
to
put them
foil pans?
into foil pans.
Okay.
And there were 5 foil pans that were pretty well full. I put those out on the smoker, 225 on super smoke, and just let them roll they were out there for about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Just to kind of get some of the smoke flavor. Mm-hmm. If I'm cooking them for my family and I'm doing a big long cook and I don't have, I used every square inch of my cooking space yesterday all day long.
Yeah.
So that was the only slot I had to put them in there. Mm-hmm. When I'm just cooking for my family, I'll put them up on the top rack while I'm smoking ribs and just
let them go the whole time.
Let them go.
I did that once, and they ran out of liquid. Do you add any extra liquid to them? You don't drain them, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I just put them out there, but it's rare I take my smoker over 225.
Yeah, keep it low and
so.
Okay. Nice.
Yep, but that was great. Yeah, we did. It was like 75 pounds of pork and. The mac and cheese. It was 6 pounds of cheese and 8 pounds of raw pasta. All of those beans and 10 pounds of coleslaw. And I was light on the coleslaw. I probably needed another 4 pounds of coleslaw.
Really?
To feed the group that I had.
And you just get the bags of coleslaw mix and then put your own dressing on it, right?
Tricolor slaw, and then, secret family recipe from the McCormick side.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was there anything else I asked you before that we need to talk about?
No, we talked about a bunch of other stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm so mad. That was
good. That was good.
It was going to be
we
such a good
hitting
episode.
Our stride.
Oh, guys.
We should do this every week and just be like, "Oh, we just recorded and it was so good, you guys." Because then if we suck,
we got to go another 84 episodes before we can do
That's
this.
true.
I know we've got an episode that we put in the vault in case if we hit another snag where we're not able to record. I was mad enough that I almost said we're going to the vault.
Well, Again, it's a lot of fun when we're like just riffing and doing and then once we've had the conversation, it's like,
how do we
how
do this
did your
again?
beans go? What did you cook, John?
Anyways, so on to the fresh content that we haven't already covered once.
Fresh stuff.
Because we've been so busy, and we talk about this a little bit, but I think we're going to call this episode the One Pot Wonder.
I love it.
But in our case, it's like the one grill wonder.
Yeah.
Like,
one cooker, one
we're crazy
oil
busy.
pan, one something.
Yeah, we're crazy busy. We don't have time, but we still want to eat good. Like, what's your go-to meal when you're in charge of cooking dinner and you've got to cook it quick?
Yeah. My kids love dogs. So I guess, it's kind of boring, but my go-to would probably be burgers and dogs.
You said that my dogs are barking upstairs, and I was like...
Not that kind of dog. Hot dogs. Hot dogs.
How to walk your dog. W-O-K.
My dogs love... my dogs love hot kids. My kids love hot dogs. And so that would probably be my first choice. I was in charge of... So Whitney's going back to work, and it's been crazy. Like, she's spending a lot of time trying to get her classroom ready, trying to figure out what she wants to do and stuff. And so I've been in charge of a couple of meals where it's kind of been like this. Like, hey, we're crazy busy. We have football in an hour. We need to feed these kids, figure something out. And so I think I talked about corn dogs last week. I made homemade corn dogs on the Blackstone, which was pretty dope, and the kids had fun with it. Today it was kind of the same deal, and I made chicken fried rice. And I went from raw chicken to full finished fried rice in about 20 minutes.
Nice.
And it was pretty good. Kids ate it.
Did you already have the rice cooked?
Yeah, the rice had been cooked. We'd been saving it for this, and then I hadn't had any time to do it, and it was just like, I got to use it now, or it's just going to go bad and go to the chickens or something. So
yeah. Rice is one of those... Food safety-wise, rice is like one of the most dangerous things you can have.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
I did not know this.
Yes.
Why?
Simple carbohydrate, high moisture, like it is a breeding ground.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't hear from me next week, it's because
you cooked it again. It's fine.
That's crazy. It makes sense though,
Yeah.
because you're right. It's
simple carb. Like it's
interesting.
Yeah, leave some rice in your fridge for like a week and a half and smell it, and you'll know why.
See what happens.
It's so nasty. Yeah.
Anyway, that's where my mind went, is just simple burgers and dogs, something quick. Especially with the Blackstone. Dude, Blackstones thrive on the hot, fast, quick meal.
They cook so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the fried rice idea. I didn't have rice cooked, and I cooked rice and made dirty rice.
Oh.
The other day.
Tell me about it.
So dirty, it's like southern fried rice, basically. But I had a rotisserie chicken in the fridge that I shredded part of that up.
Okay.
Had a andouille sausage, like the Johnsonville, looks like a giant chunk of meat bent in half.
Yeah.
Had one of those, and then some onions. So cut up the onions and caramelize those while the chicken and the sausage warmed up on the grill. Hit it with some Holy Voodoo from Meat Church and a little bit of Blanco.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then you mix in the rice, and it looks dirty from the like kind of Cajun seasoning colors.
Okay, so this is not like day-old rice. This is fresh rice.
Like ideally, you would do it with day-old rice.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't have any,
Right.
so I just let it cook a little longer than I normally do in the pressure cooker.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it was money.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you do that, and then my kids like to hit it with a little bit of barbecue sauce over the top.
Oh, okay.
Takes a little bit of the bite of the Cajun spice out of it.
Uh-huh.
But man, we pounded that. There were leftovers that I ate the next day, and I was a happy camper.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So I love that, the fried rice, dirty rice option.
When you said dirty rice, I was thinking like red beans and rice type still stuff, but which I've never made, but I love to eat.
I've made it, but it's I don't know. I don't have a good recipe for it.
It seems like more of a long.
Yeah. I'm the
drawn
only
out
one in
cook.
my family that'll eat it, and
Yeah, that's true for most of the delicious things.
I
that
feel like
wanna
you and I
try.
just sometimes need to cook for each other.
We do, and let the family eat their chicken nuggets and
Yeah.
fries or whatever.
But the other one, so tomorrow night, which is going to be a chaotic night, Robbie's got an eye doctor appointment, and then we've got back to school night. Do you have back to school night at the
No.
high school? But we've got back to school night that starts at 5:30, and there's like a parents meeting
It
at the
seems
beginning.
like, yeah, it can either be at the beginning or the end or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. When he explained it to me several times, I obviously didn't remember.
Same thing. I know Haley's told me. All I know is I've got to be there till 5:30, and then there at 5:30. I think I'm done around 6:30, but then we get home. We've got to have dinner, and then the kids start school the next morning. So like, got to get them to bed. So it's like, what do we do? What are we going to cook in a short span? I'm doing burgers on the Blackstone.
Yeah,
So
smash burgers.
no, I was gonna do smash burgers, and they'd probably cook faster. But I've got frozen patties.
See, that's
I know
hard to
they're
do
more-
smash burgers with those.
I know they're more expensive, and people are gonna whine about them, but they're just so freaking convenient to pull out, and throw
especially
on the,
for a last-minute dinner like this.
Yeah.
You pull them out, put them on. They cook pretty fast. It's fine. I
Yeah.
kind of like them. Let them warm up a little, and then you can hit them with whatever. And
Yeah, if you've got a lot of last minute meals, we're gonna totally do this on the fly. I haven't even talked to you about this. What are some of the things that you would keep in your fridge?
For last-minute things.
Yeah, last minute things. Like I would probably make a big batch of rice at the beginning of the week when I had time. I would have frozen hamburger patties. I would have frozen boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and a bag of meatballs.
Oh, meatballs. I like that.
Yeah, a bag of frozen meatballs. That I think I would have all of that stuff, and I would like prep it. Like I would buy all that frozen stuff, and I would prep a pot of rice, or an instant pot of rice, however you want to cook it. And I would have that in my fridge for no more than a week. Food safety, and then make whatever meal with whatever I felt like that night. Hit it with different sauces and different spices, and
The only thing I would add to that is something we talked about last time, and that's some leftover warm, like frozen barbecue, like pulled pork or pulled ham. We use that in a lot of stuff. Throw that in a pasta really quick or something like that.
yeah, we talk a lot about that. Like
We
leftover barbecue, put it in a vacuum sealed bag and just pack it. Throw it in the freezer. Keeps for a long time.
Whitney has made like grilled cheese and just thrown a little bit of leftover pulled pork on there. Oh my gosh!
I thought you were going to tell me
So
she
good.
froze grilled cheese, and I was like, how does that work?
Oh no, that would be interesting. I'm sure it's possible. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
know
just
how
saw
you'd
that
warm it up.
Lunchables have grilled cheese now.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. What else?
I think like those are the staples that I would go to. I mean, you could add some veggies in there.
Yeah.
Get a bag of frozen peppers
You
and
probably
onions.
should. Peppers and onions, you could. I mean, I think I talked about this. We went to. Have you ever been to Chef D's Phillies here in town? I liked them a lot. But as I was eating it, I was thinking, I'm sure it's not, but you could do a very similar Philly cheesesteak sandwich just using ground beef or something.
I
So
saw
thought
somebody
if you just
do
had some
that.
sautéed stuff, you could throw some ground beef in there and make probably a decent Philly.
Yeah, I'm not a huge ground beef fan. But I agree with you. You
Is it
could
because of your food safety?
no, not at
stuff?
all.
Oh, interesting.
No, and look, the only reason that I'm big on rice food safety is because I hate being the guy that opens the rice container in the fridge.
And things are growing. There's
Look,
a whole
man,
new
I've
ecosystem.
I feel like I've got a pretty strong gag reflex
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like blood and bones and like gut. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to be a doctor. I've done a ton of time in ORs. Like there's not much that I'm like, oh, blood, I'm gonna get. Like no gag reflex there. Nasty smelling food, like cleaning out the fridge.
Oh, I hate cleaning out the fridge.
I can't do it. Like Haley makes fun of me every time. Yeah, milk. So think about a traditional like gallon jug of milk.
Uh-huh.
You know how at the bottom, about an inch up, there's a kind of like a bulge. Mm-hmm. I call that the sketchy zone. I won't put it back in the fridge, and I won't use it if it's in the sketchy zone.
Really? Why?
Because milk already smells gross, and it's just like it's like primed to like go bad at that small volume. And it's funny, like Haley used to give me such a rash of crap about it. And finally one day I was like, fine. And I like dumped it out on my Cheerios, and it was like chunky and nasty.
Oh, no.
I was just like, I'm done. I don't want to hear about it ever again.
Never bring it up again.
So I don't do the sketchy zone of the milk. Like,
This has nothing to do with food safety, but have you ever seen the video of the guy that's trying to do a tutorial of how to clean out the tub drain? Like, get all the hair out? And he tries. I don't know if he's making it for his daughters or just, for a self-help
But he's
video
just, like,
or whatever.
gagging the whole
He's just
time.
like, this is... Sorry, guys. It is hilarious. And you can tell it's like, it's not fake because he's like mid-sentence just hang on a sec. Okay.
that doesn't bother me. I've got a deers, antelopes. Like, I've shown up. I found dead carcasses that have been rotting that have maggots crawling out of them. Like, doesn't faze me at all. If I've got to clean out the fridge, like, yeah, just can't do it. So that's why I care about rice.
I support it. It. Nothing wrong with food safety, man. Nothing wrong.
That's an important thing.
Yep.
Yeah. You haven't lived till you poured chunks onto your Cheerios.
Oh.
I didn't have Cheerios for like a year after that, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude, that would ruin it for me.
So, all right.
Cool.
Well, I know everyone hasn't been with us for as long as Mike and I have been together.
But we've been here for about 4 hours now, so.
No.
JK.
Yeah, everyone hang in there. School starts this week. Be brave, be strong, and remember to thank your teachers for coming back to school.
Yep. It's difficult, all right? It's a hard gig we live.
No, I've been grateful for the summer to be home and like hang out with my kids, and it's been fun. Mm-hmm. There is no amount of money that would get me to homeschool my children.
Oh, man.
I love them.
That's rough.
And if you homeschool your kids, like, good on you. I'm glad. Make sure
Good for you.
barbecue is part of your culinary curriculum.
Yeah, that needs to be a core value.
But I ain't doing it. So thank you,
fair.
Mike. Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you, State of Utah, for paying my mortgage.
Yeah, and I guess we didn't talk about Haley's going to be an aide at the school.
Oh, yeah,
this year.
Haley's joining the education club.
Yep.
John, there's one odd man out. You're missing out.
I
It's
know.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, that whole, like, alternative path to certification just seems like a lot of work.
It is. I've heard it's kind of a nightmare, so.
So, until next time, I almost just screwed the end of this, too. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
We're Fat Guys with Smokers.
And we are going to stop recording now.
Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.